SMCI, it's one of the darlings of artificial intelligence revolution. They are partners with nvda. In 2018, because of accounting problems, they got delisted from NASDAQ and joined again in 2023. Their long time auditors were from Deloitte, and last year or the year before, just a year ago, they were replaced with Ernst and Young, EY. And so here is the timeline of their debacle. They went up with the AI revolution, or evolution, whatever you want to call it, and from approximately 10 or $20 a year or a few years back, they went all the way to 1100 or 1200 something. That is in February. And then it went down because people start questioning their valuation and stuff. 2 quarters ago, not this last earnings, but the earning before, they said their earnings were not as good, the margins were not as good, revenue was really good, but margins were not as good as market was expecting. So it went down and around 7, 800, 900, something like that. So it went down considerably, 20% or something. And then came Hindenburg's report, and they said there is manipulation, there is accounting fraud, whatever, and they raised a few points that SMCI hired the same account people in its management whom it has fired the first time it was delisted. And also they said their products are not as good as their competition. They also said SMCI is not going to be able to compete with its competition. They said their SMCI, there are accounting issues and so many other. You can go and read the Hindenburg report about SMCI. And then the prices went down. And it went down further because the very next day of the Hindenburg report, SMCI basically said that we are not going to file 10K. Probably they were more cautious this time because the Hindenburg report, they thought we are going to review everything in detail. So the stock went down because market took it as a confirmation of Hindenburg report or something. So it went down a big time, and then it reached, I don't know, 500, or which is after split 50 or 30, something like that. So it went a fraction of what it used to be. Then it didn't stop there. A few weeks later, Ernst and Young, their auditor, resigned, saying that there is some information that has come to their attention, and they cannot associate with this management. So they were basically saying the management is not good, they are not trustworthy, and they don't want to be this accounting firm EY is not going to be, they don't want to be associated with this management, or the report they are providing. I think they don't trust those reports. So it was horrible, and stocks start going down. The very day it happened, I think the stock went to $34. Now this is a $120 stock around there, and it's now only $34. And it keeps on going down as more and more analysts came and start saying you can't trust this because their auditors resigned. This is a huge thing. And there was delisting fears as well because of the company didn't file their 10K. So they had 2 months which for delisting, which would have ended on 16th of November, tomorrow, that is. Um, so because of all that pressure, the stocks start going down. Margin, obviously, the banks won't be providing, or the brokers won't be providing margins. So people start selling the stocks even more, fearing that if it gets delisted, it's going to be trading at low multiples, P multiples, so it can hit $10 or worse. There were a lot of analysts who came and they said, well, it is going to go further down, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday, even Kramer said sell, 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 because there was nothing that came from from SMCI except for saying that we are diligently working to make sure that we stay listed on Nasdaq. Because another problem is if they get delisted, there's a 1.7 billion debt or something that they might end up paying early instead of 2029. So now this is a company that is still making around $5 billion per quarter in revenues, and the last quarter I think it was 75 cents of earnings. So it is approximately $2 per year of earning, which is makes and the stock price, as you can see today, was 17 $18. So it was under 10 PE. So the valuation wise it was really really good, but nobody trusts their accounting or their reporting, and whether they are really, but they were in nvidia's third largest customer, so that was another big thing. They were also associated with Tesla, Elon Musk's, when he was putting all these supercomputers or AI, XAI type of machines. So they were there as well. But anyway, so what happened is that just um, before this deadline for delisting, that is tomorrow, after the markets closed, there were two main news items. Barron's, Wall Street Journal, I don't know which one, but there were two main items. The first one was that there is a conglomerate of these three big firms that are buying approximately 5 to 6% stake in SMCI. Now, one of those has the same name as the firm that employs that analyst Husseini, who has a sell rating and the lowest price target. So if I am not mistaken, if I'm not reading something incorrectly, I don't understand that that company name is associated with an analyst who is saying sell and has the lowest price target, and that company is buying the stocks or the options in hundreds of millions along with two other big companies. So I don't know which part of it is manipulation, selling or buying. Anyways, so then the other big news that came was that SMCI will be filing their report on Monday, or a plan to delay their delisting, which is required. So let's see what's going to happen. So why did they took so long? A lot of people, their investors who were under margin call or anything else, they were forced to sell in order to keep themselves afloat. So why they spent 2 months, and the very last day when the deadline was almost there, everyone was talking about 16th of November, and today is 15th November. After the market closed, they start saying all of this, that yeah, we are going to do this and that, even though they have mentioned before they are working diligently to make sure that they don't get delisted or submit whatever NASDAQ needs. But still, the reports were not clear. The dates were not there. They never provided when they're going to do this. And now, today, after the market closed, they said that. So these are some real ominous things. Kramer in the past have said the fact that SMCI is going down and Dell is going up. It's ominous sign for SMCI. Kramer also said just yesterday on his program, sell, sell, sell to SMCI when someone asked, because of the accounting problems. He said when you don't have these reports, it's almost definitely a sell, and they are not saying anything. So until they clarify something. But anyways, I think a lot of people actually sold. The stock went down further this morning to, I don't know, 17, 18-ish. And then after the market, when these two positive news came, the stock went up. Now with Kramer, I must also say that he's the one who said Meta, he was crying almost, and he was saying that he doesn't know why Metaverse is they're spending so much money and mismanaging the funds. and that resulted from $80. He said that, and from then on, Meta only went up. Now let's see whether SMCI goes up.